Hi, welcome. It's been so long since we've talked. I hope that you are doing well. I apologize, I didn't set up the microphone. I think it'll be okay. I have the dryer running in the back. I haven't had anything to say, so I haven't been saying anything, and I guess I just decided right now I have something to say, so I'm jumping on without much preparation. Um, I haven't had anything to say, so I haven't said anything until now. And the gist of it is, and I apologize for repeating myself, but the gist of everything that I've been talking about on this channel is that people need to deal with their shit in order to grow as people. And if we all do that as individuals, then we can all collectively grow, right? Part of that is dealing with your parents, and your parents dealing with their parents, and their parents, and their parents, and their parents. Because the long and the short of it, and this in witchcraft is called shadow work, or in psychology is called shadow work, which is really looking at the trajectory of the family dynamic and the child rearing processes and assessing what didn't work for you, especially if now you're an adult and you're like, that shit did not work and it currently does not work. Um, and dealing with it, being honest about it, being honest with yourself about it, uh, and being honest with them about it. I almost was going to say if it's appropriate. I actually don't care if it's appropriate because what's appropriate is doing what you need to do to have the best life you can. And if telling people that are close to you that they hurt you is part of the deal, then that's what needs to happen. And it's not necessarily going to be pretty. It's probably going to be messy. And it's one of those things where I don't think that you can package it in a way that's really like soft and gentle and pink and fluffy and warm. That's just not what that conversation is. Maybe for some people it can be. Great. Um, but for me, I refrain from having this conversation my whole life. Starting with when you're a child and you're observing things going on in your family that you're like, that doesn't work for me, but you're a child and you're not allowed to say, that doesn't work for me. I don't like how you're being. I don't like your parenting. I don't like how you relate to me. Um, I don't like how you relate to me. We're not encouraged to speak up, to stand up for ourselves and go, I don't care that you're the adult. You're hurting me. You're damaging my self esteem. You are putting infringements on how I perceive and how I'm capable of accessing my creativity and my imagination and my ability to problem solve because of how you are and how your parents were and how your parents were. So, with that in mind, we understand that there's a way to have space for forgiveness because we recognize that they didn't ask. I didn't ask for certain ways of being to be present in my upbringing that I'm only just now addressing with those people. Um, that said, it's not my fault either. It is my responsibility as as a sovereign being to take care of it for myself so that my life is not dictated by that. Um, and even if the people with whom you would have this conversation with have passed, you can still have this conversation. I don't know if I've told this story before. When I set up my ancestor altar, like the first thing I did was kind of yelled at them for the lineage of nonsense that's in both sides of my family. And they literally said to me loud and clear, we didn't have any help. We didn't know. Which is fair. But it's also understood in the practice of shadow work and ancestor work that as we, those who are here and aware and awake and alive, can access the understanding that that nonsense can end here and now with me, with you, with whomever, it heals forward and backwards like 7 generations. I don't remember where I read that. 6 generations, five, seven. The point is, At some point, it has to stop. At some point, somebody has to go, I'm not allowing this anymore. It doesn't work for me. It's not okay. It hurts me. And it's not about love. I know, and I'm experiencing like, but I love you. That's not the point. If you loved me, you wouldn't do it, is my feeling on it. So there's a disconnect, I think, between. I mean, I know plenty of stories of people who had parents that were terribly abusive who did what they did out of love because that's how they knew how to love. So I don't think that's a great usage of the word, I'll be completely honest. And I think if it's true, then expansion and progress and growth is what's possible out of that. But if what you're saying is, I love you, but I refuse to look at this, then you don't love. You, something else. I don't know what it is. Just are existing in ego and resistance. And I would argue that it's a lack of self-love also for that individual. So again, we can look at it with forgiveness and grace, but I think it's important to be honest, to be true, to be to let go of all your fucks about hurting their feelings, which is what I was doing. I was refraining from saying anything for literally my whole life because I thought it would stop. I thought they'd figure it out, and I was afraid of hurting their feelings, even though my feelings have been routinely hurt for 40 years. So that's what brought me to a place of being like, I can no longer, this can't live in my head anymore. I can't think about this anymore. I can't spend one more second of my life allowing this to take up space in my world. And the fact of the matter is that the relationships are inauthentic as such because there's all this nonsense going on, all this projection, all this standard way of being. Well, this is how I've always done it, so this is how I'm going to do it. Well, I'm putting a stop to that for myself. You can continue. And this is when I say we go back to boundaries, right? This isn't about telling them what to do. Because yes, if it's something they've done for their whole life, it's going to be probably very challenging for them. The point is to say it. And the point is to let them know, as this continues, my response is going to change. Because I'm not putting up with it. I'm getting out of the way of the runaway car. Right? Like you don't stand there at a runaway car and go, stop, 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 stop. It's not going to stop. It's going to hit you. You have to move. You can't stop the runaway car. You have to get out of the way. That's what a boundary is. So, because the message has been deal with your shit, I have been dealing with my shit. And at this juncture, because we are not through, we're not through it. And we may never be, and I accept that. And I acknowledge that it caused pain that I said anything, and I accept that too. But I also feel a space of release and a release of anxiety that I am no longer carrying around. Basically, that I was lying about how I felt. I was pretending that it was fine, and it's not fine. And I've learned a lot about dealing with anxiety too with this is I feel much easier dealing with the anxiety if I'm completely honest about it in the moment. Like, this is making me super anxious. Or if I'm out in some place, an environment that's new and I'm freaked out, I can say to a person, this is freaking me out right now. People respond really well to that. They go, okay, cool. Usually they're like, yeah, totally. So that's my encouragement to you, even just on the small level of, well, small, but the topic of anxiety. I encourage you to just be honest with yourself about how you're feeling about it. And see how that does for you. Because I think trying to grasp at things to keep it from being known. I also think people think that they're the only ones dealing with it, and that's just simply not true. I think we can safely say that we understand that everyone experiences anxiety, some more than others, but that's when it happens. Be honest about it and see how you feel. I don't think it really, I don't know. I don't want to say nothing bad can come of it because I guess I don't really know. But it can't be worse than like the spin out, right? In my opinion. Um, I also want to talk about comparative thinking for a second. I see it a lot. I hear it a lot. The idea of, well, this is bad, but somebody else has it worse. That's not the point, and it's not helpful because all that does is cock block your process. Um, because then that means, what are you going to do? Sit on your couch and just literally think about all the ways in which all the people in the world have it worse? What is that going to do for you in terms of your problem solving? How does that help anybody look at their situation clearly and go, okay, this is what I need to deal with? Oh, but there's all these people in this other country having problems. Here's my problem, still not dealt with. And there's all these starving and murder and still this problem. So we're still not dealing with it. It's literally a distraction. It's not helpful unless you can be of service and of assistance to the person or the people or the situation that you're making the comparison to. What's the point? It's great. Somebody, I don't remember who said it. Oh, maybe it was, oh shoot, I'm forgetting the name. It's great to care, but you can't care about everything all the time. You just can't. Um, and let other people who can do the thing to help the situation, let them do that. Um, Sometimes, well, yeah, I just think it's an energetic burden to do comparative thinking and not use it to direct on yourself and deal with your stuff. So that's what I wanted to say today. In encouragement for you as you look at your life and you make changes and make progress, that you look at what you've been looking at is the facts. Like, look at the things that you've been saying for a long time. This doesn't work. This doesn't work. I don't like this. I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this. And start dealing with them. Look at them as facts. I don't like this. I can't deal with this. I'm not okay with this. Because I noticed I did that too. I kept saying it, kept saying it, kept saying it. Like repeating it over and over was going to change it. And that's not how it works. You have to actually deal with the thing. So, with all the love in my heart for you and the progress and changes you've made and want to make, and if you celebrate New Year's, Happy New Year coming up. And I hope that everyone's 2022 is the most magical year of your life. Okay, thank you so much. Bye.